You'll get the information at registration where all of these things are going to happen, okay? Where ST2 caucus, where all the sessions are, and also all the little individual things like the Greg Abbott ice cream social. Okay, and then once we have done that, once we voted for the state chair, the vice chair, which is going to be extraordinarily difficult this time, we're also going to go back to the floor of this of the convention, and we're going to determine who the chair and the vice chair is going to be. And then we'll vote on the resolutions and rules. If there's any rules, we'll vote on the floor then, and then they adjourn after that. This could get contentious. We have a woman, Cathie Adams. Everybody know Cathie Adams? She's running for the state chair position. Again, she is our current chairman. Robin Armstrong is our current vice chairman. I think they're running as a team. So what's going to happen is you have her running, and then you have two men running for the chairman. You got Tom Mechler running, and you got Steven Munisteri running. That's the one I wanted to talk about. I'm for Cathie Adams. I'm for Robin Armstrong. I've worked with them on the SREC, and I've done it for a long time. I've worked with Cathie Adams doing lobbying in the legislature. Cathie does everything. She knows everything. She knows everything from the bottom of the political ladder, everything that happens in county. She knows it all the way up to the UN. She goes to those UN meetings, the WTO meetings that they had in Washington, D.C., Washington State, and other places. She's been to those. She knows politics. She knows people's thinking. She knows liberal thinking for sure. So anyway, she's the person I'm for, and she's done such a good job for 20-something years in the state of Texas. We have a guy that's running against her.
Hey, John.
Sir.
Yes, sir. John, I want to ask you a question about Cathie, another plug you might put in. For when she took over last fall, wasn't it, in the fall?
1st November.
1st November. Yeah, she got it about the same time I got this. Anyhow, it's my understanding the Republican Party was sort of wallowing in debt, and she has, tell us about what she has done to help the party.
Okay, well, we had that in executive committee session, meeting, and so it's kind of hard to talk about specifics. Tom Mechler, who is also running, not Steven Munisteri, but we're going to stick on Cathie for a while. But Tom Mechler is also running. He's talking about the big debt that the party has. If you think about it, does anybody in this room not have debt? I don't. Lori doesn't. He doesn't. She doesn't. They don't. Okay, mostly everybody in this room has debt. The Republican Party of Texas has debt. So they're taking a snapshot view, and he was using the sum of, I think Mechler, who's running for chairman position, took the sum, I think, of $750,000, and we'll just say that's what he uses. That's not accurate. We have debt in our party. We have money coming into our party. When Cathie came in, she recognized that we did have an issue with the way the bills were being paid and some other things were being done. Audits were being done. She did an audit, January, found out there was nothing illegal or unseemly happening. But some of the bills had not been paid right away, so it accumulated. And the money wasn't coming in like it should have been coming in. That's some issues about economy and some other things. But when you have a house to run, for example, you have bills coming in every month, you have money coming in every month. So the process of paying your bills, you never get ahead. You always have debt. Well, if you mortgage or you do things like that, you have debt. So you pay your bills when your money comes in, your paycheck comes in. You still have debt. Well, that's the whole process. We're going to have debt. We're going to have money coming in to pay for that debt. People are getting upset that we're paying the debt out of the money for the convention. Well, the money for the convention is part of the money that we expected to get in, so therefore we're paying our debt on the money that we're expecting, and we're going to get more money coming because, like I said, there's people at the convention, or big donors, that are going to give money because of the convention. So it's a process evolving. It's not like we're terribly in debt or anything. We're probably higher now than we should be, but it's nothing that can't be overcome, and probably by the end of summer we're going to be in good shape. So no, there's not a problem with debt. And Cathie has been raising money. So the one I was on, though, was Steven Munisteri. I've got 8 pages of him. He sent me all this information. Did he send you guys all this information? Delegates should have got some of this. There's 8 pages here. He talks about himself. And I thought it was very interesting that when he talks about himself and talks about all the things he's done, there's not one word in here about family. There's not one word in here about faith. Now, if you're writing a resume and you want people to know who you are, what are some of the major things you're going to talk about? You're going to talk about your family. You're going to talk about God. You're going to talk about the things you really believe in. There's nothing in here about what he feels on abortion. There's nothing in here what he thinks about gay marriage. Nothing. This is a track record of his accomplishments. And a lot of these accomplishments are out of the state. For example, in Iowa, Cathie's been here in Texas. She has been working hard for us in Texas. She hasn't been in some other state or whatever. Okay, I also looked on the donations. His donations, he had a donation, you know, he's rich. He has a lot of money. No, he's hair industry or something. So I looked online, and I've got one place I found that he gave to a candidate $300 back in 2004. That's all I can find on donations. Okay. Of course, that's not his church or anything. That wasn't on there. But anyway, that's another issue. Tom Mechler. He's the 3rd one that's running. And let's see if I have something on him. Tom Mechler is a friend of mine. Tom Mechler is a good Christian man. He does prison ministry, things like that, and he's a good man. I'm not against Tom Mechler. This is Tom Mechler. Everybody see that? I don't know if you got this in the mail or not. Delegates should have got it. I was on the SREC with him. He doesn't have statewide experience. He is on one board. The governor appointed him on one board, but he has no statewide experience. And people that are supporting him, let me tell you some of those people, and I've had the name Bo Pilgrim in the midst of all this. I haven't confirmed that yet, but I have confirmed that Gaylord Huey, does anybody know Gaylord Huey from Longview? Multi-millionaire, is giving Tom $70,000. And my problem with that is Gaylord Huey tried to get Leo Berman beaten. First of all, I didn't like that because Leo Berman is one of my favorite people. Secondly, he gave $70,000, but he is for a number of things that I disagree with. Illegal immigration, he's not against that. He's probably for a work program for Hispanics. I think he's for amnesty. I haven't locked that in yet, but everybody that's supporting Tom Mechler is involved in using people like that in their businesses. And I talked to Tom about that, and he said, no, they may be putting money into my campaign, but that doesn't mean I have to go with what they want, because he's against illegal immigration, he says. So I just don't like people giving that kind of money to somebody that is going to be our chairman. Anyway, so that's my 2. Cathie, Robin.